Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between Raven and MYMDemuslim here on Metalopolis. We have MYMDemuslim spawning as the light blue Terran player over here at the 8 o'clock position. Meanwhile, we have Raven spawning over here at the 2 o'clock position as the red Terran. Now, as many of you guys have let me know, this is in fact my 1000th video. I tried to figure out what I could do for you guys that would be just so epic and just so much fun. So I went over to the Blizzard headquarters and I wanted to, take a video with the giant orc that is in the middle of their parking lot. Unfortunately, I couldn't get past security. The guys were really nice and wouldn't let me in. If they let me in, then I'd probably have to report them anyways. But they were really kind, and well, just gonna go ahead and do a standard opening and a standard video instead. So MYMDemuslim gonna go ahead and go for a supply depot down over here. Both players going for a normal supply depot at their close to their command center, enabling them to get more mining time out of that SCV. So we'll see how that really works out for them. Raven also delaying that SCV just a little, or that barracks just a little bit, and that while producing that, that barracks just a little bit, and then also producing that SCV, so that's going to be a little bit of a delay. Now, recently I've seen a lot of Reaper rushes, even in Terran versus Terran matches, on maps that have more than 2 spawning locations. And because of that, I do not suggest you going for a late barracks any longer. And that early Raven, especially if you don't get that Marauder out, that early Reaper will just be able to run circles around your SCVs, and unless you are you're cool as a cucumber, you're just gonna lose your cool very easily. We'll see how these players both respond. We'll see if anyone drops down a tech lab, and the Muslim now getting that orbital command center. Most likely Raven. Oh, Raven going for an early tech lab instead, and now going for that orbital command. So tech lab before orbital command, getting that gas a little bit earlier, and we'll see how that really plays out for them. Both players should be dropping down an additional supply depot momentarily in order to be able to start producing perhaps some Marauders or some additional units. 2 Marines being pumped out by the Muslim in order to push back any Reaper harassment if there is in fact Reaper harassment, but no, Raven producing Marauders. So it's going to be Marauders versus Marines, and Raven dropping down to refineries to deny a little bit of that gas. So 1 Marine trying to shoot down that refinery already down to 45 hit points, should in fact get cancelled at the last second. Oh no, I think it was actually destroyed. Yeah, so Raven losing those precious 75 minerals. I think that's a refund of 75%, so losing 50 minerals off of that denial. Marauder for Raven sitting over here on this high ledge instead, doing a little bit of patrolling, making sure that no Reapers try to jump up, but he should in fact know that there is no Reapers because there are no Reapers, because there are no tech lab on this barracks. So that's exactly the strategy that we've seen so far. We do in fact have a factory now being laid down by the Muslim, so the Muslim going for that early factory. Raven a little bit behind on that factory, but is not too far behind. Raven also getting some supply depots as well. Marauders now on the move. Taking a look at the army count, we have Raven sitting on 400, and yeah, so 2 Marauders, 1 Marine, and it does in fact look like that orbital command counts towards the army. That's probably got to be changed in just a little bit, because it doesn't make sense why an orbital command building would actually count towards an army. Perhaps it does offer some additional scouting, but beyond that, no real reason, and it really changes up the unit overlays, and it makes me misjudge some of the battles. So Blizzard, if you're listening, sorry for sneaking onto your campus, or trying to sneak onto your campus, but it was all for the fans out there. And secondly, please fix the unit overlay so that the orbital command does not count towards the army size. Anyways, back to the game. Still no tech lab on that barracks, and no tech lab here, so he might be rushing to, yes, he is in fact rushing to Banshee. So Banshee's gonna be rushed to, and we'll see how that's really gonna work out. I do not oh, we are getting a starport over here, so if that starport, as long as it starts producing a Viking early, then he will be fine, as that Viking is able to shoot back against those Banshees without getting shot back against. Instead, going for a tech lab, so he's also going to be going for Banshees. Quick scanner sweep coming in to figure out what the strategy is 2 Banshees already in queue, already being produced, and we have a Raven setting up a orbital command center at his natural. So also coming in with another scanner sweep. I do not believe that Raven sees those starports. No, he does not see those starports, so those starports are going to be a very, very large surprise. However, MYMDemuslim, yeah, did in fact see that starport with that tech lab. So Marauders being produced, a fair amount of Marines down over here. I do not know if the Cloak is... Yeah, Cloak is in fact being researched. So those Ravens once... Actually, no, I thought Cloak was being researched. Didn't I just see it? Cloaking Field being researched by Raven, so not by the Muslim. So a single starport with cloaking research already being researched, and now coming back over here instead we have 2 Banshees, perhaps trying to get up to 4. No, also gonna get Viking support. So if he gets a second Viking, probably gonna... Did he drop down? Yeah, it sounded like he dropped down another mule. I was gonna say that he should probably try to drop down an additional supply drop if he wanted to get that second Viking. SCV sitting on that low ground, perhaps waiting for some sort of expansion. Raven has to be curious about what exactly the Muslim's doing at this stage in the game. The Muslim is a smart player, so he has to know that something is up. No expansion generally means that he's either teching very hard and massing units, or he has a hidden expansion somewhere if there's not one on that low ground. These 6 Marines are not going to be a strong enough counter to handle these these Banshees. And with that Viking support coming in, and a Banshee now being produced, so that's not really going to work. And now those Banshees coming in, going to just start picking off these units. 2 already getting 4 quick kills, going to try to come in and do a little bit more, now running straight towards that main mineral line, lowering these supply depots, and doing a nice job. The Muslim doing a nice little move and hit, using the deceleration, so the Banshees do not have a very, very fast deceleration, so they're able to kind of slide as they're in the air. So that's a great ability right there. Now a Banshee trying to move back out. The Muslims, a Viking chasing down that Banshee, instead gonna go ahead and try to escort the rest of these Banshees. Never leave your wingman type of thing, as those Banshees are now just shooting down that orbital command. But now we have Cloak in play. So Cloak in play, that's really going to change things up, as that Viking really needs to figure out what exactly the strategy is going to be. But there's going to be a 2-on-1 with those Vikings. A single Raven trying to fight back against two more Vikings. A single Banshee on that backside, picking off units, and Raven will have to GG soon, unless there is something that I am missing on this map right there. Barracks being produced, producing more Marines in Banshee, getting 22 kills, 15 kills on another one, and now Vikings even joining in on the fight, trying to destroy the rest of this base in that land mode, dealing 14 damage. Marauders, however, going to make short work of those Vikings. Vikings getting taken down, but no additional production from that starport. And that is a definite surprise. More decloaking once again those Banshees, and Ravens Marauders going to get taken down. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I think this is going to be the end of the game here, as those Marauders will not be able to get up any real which way. Single Banshee in Raven's base, however, we have a Viking now going to start shooting down that Banshee. Banshee quickly taken down with a scanner sweep, and that should in fact be GG. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. No epic video for my 1000th video, but I hope you guys still enjoy it, and I think I figured out the lagging issue. I was trying to cast some of these games on Fat Tuesday, or sometime after Fat Tuesday, where Microsoft releases patches, and my computer was installing and writing to the hard drive, which I try to encode my videos on. I'm telling you guys this after the video fact, so if you wanted to leave, you could. Yeah, the videos are in their raw format are generally around 40 to 50 gigabytes, so that tells you how beefy my computer needs to be if I'm casting what 5 to 10 videos a day. Sometimes I have like 400 to 500 gigabytes of videos that I need to encode. Once again, thanks for watching, thanks for listening to my little rant, and I hope to continue to give you guys great shoutcasts throughout the coming season.